Language shapes the collective Israeli consciousness about the Palestinians for the worse. So again, there's been this dichotomy the whole time where internally in Israel, they'll be honest and they'll say, they're all animals, wipe them all out, show no mercy, steal the land, let's reoccupy. They have conventions about reoccupying Gaza. Everything internally they say this. You've seen the clips, we've shown the clips of Israeli politician after Israeli politician, Israeli media figure after Israeli media figure, rando person on the street. They all sound like you grabbed Mein Kampf and opened it up to a random page and started reading. Total fascist stuff, total Nazi stuff, complete dehumanization of Palestinians to the maximum degree. So internally they've been saying that, but again, in Western media, it's, we're looking for a deal and Israel is serious about it and Hamas keeps violating the deal and this is really all about the hostages. It's not about the hostages. The hostages' families know it's not about the hostages because they've been protesting like, holy shit, get the fucking hostages back. This is my family member. This is my loved one. And every step of the way, what do they keep doing? Relentlessly bombing Gaza, also killing many of the hostages, starving the area, including starving the hostages, right? And they don't care. They don't care. So let me give you some more specifics. Israel plans to occupy and flatten all of Gaza if no deal by Trump's trip. I love, again, this guy, Barak Ravid, just to be clear, he is an Israeli propagandist. Like, he absolutely is. But even he, this headline is still pretty clear, even though he still got they need a deal by Trump. Doesn't matter what there is no deal. They are committed to genocide and ethnic cleansing. I also love the idea of, they're going to flatten Gaza if there's not They've already flattened Gaza. What the fuck are you talking about? What is it, like 80 or 90% of the buildings are wiped out? Literally the picture they use in this article. Look at that picture. That shit is already flattened. It is just a pile of rubble with dead toddlers underneath. The fuck are you talking about? Okay. Israel has set President Trump's visit to the Middle East next week as a deadline for a new hostage and ceasefire deal with a massive ground operation to commence if no deal is reached, Israeli officials say. Israel's security cabinet approved a plan Sunday night to gradually reoccupy all of Gaza and hold it indefinitely if no deal is reached by May 15th. Plans for the operation call for the IDF to flatten any buildings that remain standing and displace virtually the entire population of 2 million people to a single humanitarian area. By the way, let's be clear, and this is further evidence that this guy's a total Israeli propagandist. Look at how dry he's explaining all this. They've approved a plan, and that plan is genocide and ethnic cleansing. Like, they would never, ever, ever use those words, those completely accurate descriptors. Never. They talk about it like these are serious people discussing serious things. No, these are fucking war criminals who should be locked up for life. The alternative to remaining in the humanitarian zone is for Palestinians to leave the enclave voluntarily for other countries, in line with President Trump's vision for Gaza, an Israeli official said. So in other words, when Trump released an AI video of the United States taking over Gaza and owning Gaza and putting up golden Trump statues and building casinos and hotels on the beach, Israel looked at that and they were like, yes, we get exactly what we want. Again, look at how clinically and dry they're describing something which is objectively an atrocity, a war crime, genocide, ethnic cleansing, the worst thing imaginable. Look at how they're describing it. Many Israeli officials see this operation as a nuclear option and would much prefer a deal in the next 2 weeks. There's the propaganda. Our old friend Barak Ravid. There's our propaganda. Bro, they really want a deal, bro. I mean, they're trying so hard, and like, I don't know, bro. It's like Hamas doesn't want a deal and stuff, bro. Again, how many times have we discussed on this show? We followed the negotiations very closely. You know, part of our job here is to do that. And there were countless deals on the table. Yes, we will release all the hostages. Stop fucking bombing everything in sight. Stop starving us. And no, Israel is dead set on, like, do you think there's any scenario where Hamas could offer them whatever the fuck they want? And they'd be like, okay, we're still going to say you violated the deal, and we're going to do what the whole plan was anyway, which was to steal Gaza. Finish killing everybody, kick everybody else out, and steal the land. So this is, again, further validation to the claim that they're going to do this no matter what, and that's been their plan from day one, bro. That's been their plan from day one. Far-right Minister Smotrich says Israel will not retreat from captured territories in Gaza, quote, not even in exchange for hostages. In Israel, they've always been open about this fact. Like, yeah, our real goal is to just steal the whole shit and genocide them. They've been very honest internally when they're speaking Hebrew. Very, very honest. Western media usually covered for Israel and pretended like it was all about the hostages, right? Now we're at a point where they're being honest internally in Israel as to what their goals are. And now even a lot of Western media is sort of starting to say, like, yeah, they're doing it no matter what. Right? You still have Barak Ravid, like I said, he's an Israeli propagandist, so he's an example of he still tries to hedge and still tries to like fluff it up a little bit. But this is pretty fucking clear, y'all. This is pretty clear. They're saying no matter what, we're going to steal Gaza, we're going to genocide them, we're going to ethnically cleanse them, we're going to take the land. Think about the carnage and the devastation. That was the annihilation, the exterminationism that's been on display for us for so long now. I don't know about you, but I literally can't scroll through social media without seeing a disturbing video of a Palestinian child bloodied, head blown off, arm off, laying under rubble, lifeless, dead, a loving father or a loving mother holding their child, crying because everything they've ever known and cared for and loved has just been taken away from them in an instant. How many times have we seen videos of Palestinian humanitarian zone tents being carpet bombed by the IDF? How many times have we seen schools be demolished, hospitals be bombed? How many times have we seen UN workers get attacked, World Central Kitchen workers get attacked? We just learned, what was this, a month or two ago now? The Israeli military killed, I think it was like 15 paramedics, then dug a mass grave, bulldozed their bodies, put them in there, and then when first responders came for them, they got killed too. This is Nazi shit. Let's just call it what it is. This is Nazi shit. And this shows you how thorough the dehumanization has been. We've discussed the polls. Anywhere from like 3% to maybe 6% of Israeli society says, you know what, I think the IDF has gone too far. That means over 90% of Israelis look at what's going on and they cheerlead and they love it. Here's a great example of this. While the children of Gaza are starving, the children of Israel are eating eclairs filled with hate. And so this person tells a story how in an Israeli bakery, he sees these little treats with stuff written on it like, let the IDF mow them down. This is a country in the midst of a psychopathic, manic rage, a genocidal, bloodthirsty rage. And the history books will absolutely view this as akin to the Nazis. And at the same time, by the way, we have a new McCarthyism sweeping the Western world, especially in the United States. This is the first ever artist banned from Central Park for a political opinion, not for hate, not for violence, for refusing to stay silent while Israel commits genocide. The anti-Israel singer Kehlani's taxpayer-funded Central Park concert canceled after Eric Adams ramps up pressure. So the new McCarthyism is, do you support Palestinians? If you do, we're going to say you're anti-Semitic. Are you against the genocide? If you are, we're going to say you're anti-Semitic. We're going to make sure you can't graduate from school. You can't take your final exams. You might get arrested. You might end up like Mahmoud Khalil, indefinitely locked up. You might end up like Rumeysa Ozturk, who wrote an anti-genocide op-ed and was locked up indefinitely. We're going to ruin any potential for a job in the future for you. We're going to have the schools crack down on you because you dare to exercise your First Amendment rights and try to say, hey, we shouldn't do genocide. We shouldn't arm and fund genocide. And now you have a popular singer just commenting on this, and boom, her career fucking lit on fire because she had the moral courage to speak up. This is exactly like the fucking Red Scare. It's the new Red Scare is what we're witnessing. Let me also show you this. Yemen's military announces that in response to Israel's plans to expand its operations in Gaza, the Yemenis will work to impose a comprehensive air blockade on Israel by targeting the country's airports and ask that all airlines stop flying to Israel for their own safety. Ryan Grimm says, according to Israel, as quoted in the New York Times today, it is legal to block food from a population and bar them from traveling. Yemen now says it will shut down all air traffic into Israel in response to Israel shutting off all ground, air, and sea traffic into Gaza. So they're trying to fight back. We also got word that there's allegedly a deal that was made between the Trump regime and the Houthis, where the Houthis said, look, we won't, if you guys stop bombing us, we won't attack American ships. Now, it seems like Trump agreed to that. However, the same day that they agreed to that, Israel bombed the shit out of the main port in Yemen. So it looks like this is another sleight of hand, fake ceasefire deal from Trump, where he goes, yeah, sure, we'll make a deal. We'll agree. You stop attacking our ships. We stop bombing you. But then he turns around and looks at Israel and goes, go ahead.